All right. So today, trying to offer a really nice full spectrum power yoga practice. Spend a pretty good amount of time in some standing sequences, right? A lot of like standing power. I'm going to give us some time for a really nice floor sequence and ending with a nice shavasana. So we'll get started cross-legged seated position at the top of your mat. All right, so coming to a cross-legged easy position, a sukhasana. Right, so an easy pose. Right, and take a good amount of time just to feel yourself kind of get settled, right? Maybe kind of rolling the head around a few times, shaking out the arms, right? Taking in some big dramatic breaths in and out. And then just allow that natural stack of the spine. Right, and then from that natural stack of the spine, close the eyes. Right, from there, drawing the shoulder blades down, up and back away from the ears. And kind of embodying that like alert position in the spine. Right, alert but not rigid, but not rigid. Right, bringing some awareness to where you're in contact with the mat, right? So feeling those points of pressure under your seat, maybe the side of your thighs, outsides of your feet, under your hips. And then from here, just recognizing and acknowledging anything that you're bringing to the mat. Right, so bringing awareness of the emotional tone, any sort of physical sensations that you're bringing to the mat, any sort of particular situations that you may have been dealing with today. Right, and can you allow yourself just to acknowledge what they are and allow them to be as they are, right? We're not going to try and change them. We're just taking a moment to investigate what we're bringing to the practice today. Right, and then from that investigation of what is, we're switching our attention to the breath. Allowing your awareness to follow the breath in and out of the body. Right, feeling that natural expansion, that growth of your body as you inhale, and then that natural shrinking back down and release, that contraction as you exhale. Feeling the belly travel away from the spine as you breathe in, feeling that belly button travel back towards the spine as you breathe out. And then just spending a few moments here just to observe your breath. All right, no need to change the breath, no need to make it deeper or slower. Just observe how it is now. And as your mind starts to wander, because I guarantee you it is, right? Thinking about what we got going on with the practice or thinking about something you've been doing before practice, keep bringing it back to the breath here for now. Nothing else to do. All right, and then from here, we'll start to bring that conscious control to the breath, right? So consciously breathing in, filling up and expanding as deeply as you can, and then exhaling as completely as you can. Right, feeling any change in the sensations of your body as you breathe in fully, and feeling that release, right, that letting go of as you exhale completely. A few more breaths here. And for these last few breaths, making sure that the chin is directly under the crown of the head. Feeling that open up the throat for these final few breaths in our seated Sukhasana here to start practice. One more deep breath in. And then a dramatic breath out of the mouth. Slowly blinking the eyes back open. Very nice. Maybe bringing that soft smile to your face. All right, and then we'll find tabletop pose. All right, so crossing the ankles under us, and then allowing the hands to travel under the shoulders. From there, we'll place the knees under the hips. We'll hug the forearms in slightly together, right, with that micro bend in the elbows. All 10 fingers root down into the earth. Awesome. And then from here, we'll inhale that right leg straight back behind us. Very nice. And then flex the right toes towards your shin. On your inhale, get that right heel a little higher. Very nice. And then exhale, knee to the nose, hold it there. Right? And then like a dog on a fire hydrant, kind of chicken wing that right leg out and then extend through the heel. Very nice. Exhale, draw that knee forward. Very nice. And then on a slow inhale, we'll re-extend, right? But make sure you're really moving that knee out to the right side, feeling that right hip engage, feeling that glute start to engage, really warming up this whole right side core here. Moving on your breath, exhaling the knee forward, inhaling the knee back to where it started. A few more of these, making sure the whole hand, right, both of them, root into the earth as you move, linking that breath with movement, right, not sort of coming out of choreography with that breath. Last one here, right, really re-extend through that heel. Very nice. And then back into tabletop. Maybe you kind of want to wiggle the hips side to side, noticing any difference between right and left hip right now. All right, and then reaffirm that whole hand connection. We'll inhale that left leg straight back behind us, flexing the left toes towards the shin. Inhale that left heel higher. And then exhale, knee comes forward, right? Push down like cat pose as you do so. All right, chicken wing it out. And then re-extend through the left leg. All right, exhale draws you forward. Inhale re-extends you back. Right, palms push down. All right, staying connected to the mat, even with that right shin and right foot. All right, breathing here. Couple more. Maybe feeling some heat start to build in the quad. Heat start to build in that glute. All right, next time you re-extend, back into tabletop pose. Awesome. And then from tabletop, few rounds of cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop the belly as you look up and find cow pose. And then on the exhale, press, arch, and round it into cat. Beautiful. On your inhale, drop the belly, look up, find cow. On the exhale, press, arch, and round it into cat. And then take a few more rounds, moving at the speed of your breath. Right? Your inhale, your exhale, your cat, your cow. Right, really think about shifting weight into the palms in cow and then pressing a little bit of weight back towards the heels in cat. A few more rounds here. Always that option to move with your intuition, right? If you want to move more side to side, right? Move more side to side here. Slowly come back to tabletop pose. Maybe take one or two more rounds. And then we'll find our first downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under. Right, and then start to walk out this first downward facing dog. Knees bend, chest pumps towards the toes. Very nice. Awesome. Really fan the fingertips out. Awesome. Very nice. And then from here, feet are about hips width distance apart. Let's walk them to mat's width distance. Pinky toes on the edges of your mat. Take your left hand, reach under the body, grab the outside of your right shin, and pull your heart in between your arm and your leg, right? Gentle twist here, feeling that in the outside of the right hip as well. And then switch sides. Left hand down, right arm reaches under the body, right? Using that right bicep to pull a little twist into the lower back, sending a deeper stretch into the outside of the left hip. Awesome. Slowly come back to that standard downward facing dog. All right, and then from downward facing dog here, we'll inhale as we roll into high plank pose. Very nice. Listen carefully. From high plank, lower down chaturanga, elbows and shoulders in line, and then back up into high plank. Lift back into downward facing dog. Awesome. So moving on your breath now, right? Inhale rolls you into high plank. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale back into high plank. Exhale downward facing dog. All right, and then we'll move through about 5 rounds of these. Right, using your breath as the metronome of your movement, right? It's going to dictate how slow or even how fast, how quickly your body wants to move today, right? Make sure you're linking that breath with movement, staying focused on that anchor of respiration, of breath. Keeping the whole hand rooted. A few more of these. Finishing up that last one, right? Meeting in down dog next time we arrive.
Very nice. And then from downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of your feet and slowly tiptoe it up as you find that first ragdoll at the top edge of your mat. Right, so feet are hips width distance apart. You can grab opposite elbows. And then just sway side to side if you'd like, or bounce up and down. Option to hug behind your knees. All right, whatever allows you to let go. Right, always paying special attention in my classes in Ragdoll, not only to letting go of the physical tension in the upper body, right, but letting go of the tension in the brow line, the muscles behind the eyes, unclenching the jaw. Right, but even more importantly, letting go of any sort of expectation you have for the practice, letting go of any agenda you have for the day, right, and giving yourself this indulgence of practicing, being with your breath and your body and your mind, right, for this practice today. All right, so from that gift, from that permission and indulgence, take a big breath in, and then a full breath out. Release your hands down to the mat from Ragdoll. All right, allow those big toes to come together, a little gap between the heels, arms are heavy, and then we'll slowly roll ourselves up as we find our first Tadasana, drawing the shoulder blades back, maybe that big expressive reverse swan dive up with the arms, relax the shoulders from the ears, tuck the pelvis forward. Very nice, lift up all 10 toes, gently re-stretch those toes onto the earth. And then from here, gaze up in between your palms. Very nice. Maybe bring that soft smile to the face. Right, and then maintaining that soft smile, lower your hands down to heart center. Pushing your heart into your thumbs and your thumbs back into your heart, elbows out wide. Allowing that chin to once more travel under the crown of your head. And then asking yourself, like, what do I need? All right, and then whatever initially showed up, try not to overthink it, even if it didn't make sense. And can you allow that need that presented itself? Can we turn it into an intention? All right, can we allow that intention to be what guides this practice and what we try and create more of? All right, so from your specific intention, take a big breath in, and then a dramatic breath out. All right, inhale, reach the arms up, find Tadasana. And then with a soft bend in the knees, slowly swan dive into a forward fold. All right, from your forward fold, as you inhale, find a halfway lift. Arms reach back like an airplane. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Once more, arms reach back, right? They're in line with side body. And then exhale, forward fold. Last one here, inhale to a halfway lift. And then hold it here. Really make sure the belly button's lifting towards the spine. The crown of the head's moving towards the top of the mat. Holding it here for 3, 2, Utkatasana, chair pose. Fingertips scrape the earth as you bend your knees, right? Relaxing your shoulders from your ears, hugging your inner thighs in together. Making sure all 10 toes are there, tailbones long. Very nice. From here, take a big breath in. And then exhale, forward fold. Very nice. From your forward fold, halfway lift again. And then exhale, hands lower down into the mat. Step it back into high plank pose. Very nice. From high plank pose, side plank. Left hand down. Right arm reaches towards the ceiling, right? Push that right hip high towards the sky, right? And whether you stack or stagger your ankles is up to you, but stack your shoulders. Right shoulder right on top of left, looking up towards that lifted thumb for 3, 2, 1. Back into your high plank pose. From your high plank pose, really find that stability, hug those forearms in, right? Feel the core engage, and then drop it into side plank on the opposite side. Heels drop towards the left or towards the right. Left arm reaches up. Right, really set your gaze towards that lifted thumb. All right, see if you can't close your left eye and find that lifted thumb only with your right eye. That's a real turn there. Back into a high plank pose. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale into that first upward facing dog. Spending a moment here really just to kind of explore this first up dog. Checking in with the whole body. Driving the hands down into the earth, dragging the heart through the gateway of the arms. Very nice, pressing the tops of the feet into the earth as well. And then bring your awareness to the tops of your feet, right? Can you start the lift from the tops of your feet as you exhale into downward facing dog? Very nice. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees and then step or float as you find a halfway lift at the top of your mat. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, find Tadasana. And then we'll find some flow here. Exhale, forward fold. Some classic sun A's. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, hands lower down. If you're following me, step back to high plank. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale into an upward facing dog. And then exhale into a downward facing dog. If you know your vinyasa practice, your sun A's, go through a few, right? And if not, if you're skipping your vinyasas today, just step back to down dog whenever I call them out. From down dog, inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift, top of your mat, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Keeping it moving. Again, find that rhythm now. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands lower down if you're hopping back, right? Hop back to those soft bent elbows. And make sure you're really finding each pose in that vinyasa sequence. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift, top of your mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, strong core. Exhale, hands lower down. Keep pushing those hands into the earth through that entire vinyasa sequence. Try not to collapse weight into the heels of your palms. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, rise up. A few more sun A's. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, half lift. Hands lower down. And if you're adding on to your vinyasas with chin stands or any sort of handstands, by all means, it's your practice, make it what you need. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Big swan dive into your forward fold. Last sun A, all right, or maybe a few more if you're taking yourself through your own. Always meeting in downward facing dog when I call that vinyasa option out. All right, from down dog, inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, find Tadasana, and then right into Utkatasana. Right, sending your awareness to the soles of the feet, right, making sure that the four corners of the feet are rooted. Lifting up all 10 toes is a great way to manage that four-corner root. Hug the inner thighs in, right, working your way up through the thighs, pelvis neutral, spine long, shoulders relaxed, face is soft, jaws are unclenched. Right, breath is really driving through the body here. All right, holding this Utkatasana for 3, 2, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Awesome, halfway lift, engage flat back. Exhale, hands lower down. Another option for that vinyasa. All right, from here, big toes touch. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then let's make some big circles with this right hip. Right, so opening up the hip and then swinging that right knee back forward. Very nice. Feeling that connection, right, that the lower body and the upper body have, right? Opening up the chest, rib kind of wants to follow it. Very nice. And then from here, bend the knee, hold that twisted dog, right? See if you can't square the chest, pushing the heart towards that left big toe. Very nice. And then from here, come into fallen triangle. Right knee to left elbow. And then extend, push, and lift into your first fallen triangle. Right? And then from here today, instead of just stacking that left shoulder right on top of the right, let's go extend it. Let's reach that left arm towards the mat or the earth. And then push that left rib cage high towards the ceiling. Big side body opener. Awesome. Slowly re-extend that left arm back towards the ceiling, and then inhale that right leg back towards the sky. Awesome, lower that big toe down to meet big toe. From here, inhale left leg high to the sky, knee bends, hip opens. All right, and then that's that same opportunity, just to feel out this left hip. All right, to kind of let the body organically move, intuition, just guiding however you need to move, however quickly it is. Very nice. And then the next time that knee comes high, let's hold that twisted dog, squaring off the chest, lighten the hands by pressing down through the 10 fingertips. Right? Allow that right heel to disappear behind the toes. Right? Slight internal rotation of that left or right thigh. And then come into fallen triangle. Left knee, right elbow. Extend, push and lift as you reach high towards the ceiling. Right? Rolling that left bicep forward and then going extended in your fallen triangle. Reaching not so much towards the front, but kind of feel it reach towards the mat. Right? Bringing that big crescent opening to the right side of the body. Very nice. Inhale, reach that right arm back up, and then left leg shoots back to the sky. Perfect. Big toe meets big toe. Right, from here, inhale, right leg to the sky, and then step into warrior one. Right foot steps forward, left heel spins down as the arms reach. Beautiful. Right, shoulders relaxed. Right, notice how the belly button kind of wants to lead here. Right, can you move the belly button more towards the spine? Right, by tucking the pelvis forward, re-extending through that left leg. Right, and then reaching the right arm, or reaching both arms high towards the sky from there. Awesome. From this warrior one, press the palms together overhead. Option to take that Kali Mudra, right, that yoga gun if you'd like. And then on your next inhale, bring a gentle back bend into the upper body. And then on your exhale, lower your hands down to the mat. Step or float that right foot through. Take a vinyasa as an option, or step back to down dog as a destination. Inhale, left leg high towards the sky. And then stepping into warrior one here on the left side. Very nice. Right, feel that right pinky toe kind of grip the earth. Right, and then pull that right hip forward as the left hip moves back in space. Relax the shoulders from the ears. Right, we're not gripping the mat with the toes, right? The toes can lift off the earth. Beautiful, right? Chin under the crown of the head, soft face. Unfurrow the brow. Press the palms together overhead. Take that opposite grip. Inhale as you back bend. And then exhale as you lower the hands down to the mat. Another option to flow through a vinyasa, or I'll meet you in down dog. Awesome. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of your feet, knees bend, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat, fingertips scrape the earth. Very nice. Awesome. And then from here, hands lower down to your side, right? Think airplane in the arms, right? Triceps extend, tuck the pelvis forward, float the belly right above the thighs. Sending a little bit more demand into the quadriceps. So send your breath there, hug the inner thighs in firmly for 3, 2, 1, forward fold. Very nice. From that forward fold, slowly roll yourself up like a zombie. And then once the shoulders stack over the hips, inhale, reach the arms up, find Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands lower down. Vinyasa is the option. You know where we're meeting. Downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg high to the sky. And then step into warrior one. Very nice. Strong base in your warrior one, right? Legs stay right where they are. Open into warrior two. Right? Mindful if that right knee wants to collapse in towards the center of your mat. Think about that right knee moving more towards the outside edge of that right foot. Breathing here, shoulder blades draw in together, but fingertips reach away from that, drawing in. Awesome. And then from there, reach forward, flip your palm, peaceful warrior, reaching up and out of that right hip. Left hand, right, to assist, goes down the outside of the left leg. Or maybe you want to grab the inside of that right thigh. Reach as you look up, and then exhale as you windmill down. All right, step or float that right foot. Moving through that optional vinyasa. Awesome. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Step into warrior one. Very nice. Deep parallel bend in that left thigh, strong rooted connection. And then open into warrior two. All right, and really just kind of being in the sensations of the pose. Right, not some story about what you think's coming next. Right, if your mind's wandering all around, that's what it was designed to do. Let's keep bringing it back to the body and breath here. Awesome. From warrior two, Reach forward, palm flips, peaceful warrior, right? Option with that right hand, reaching and wrapping, right? Or going down the outside of the right leg. Let's take one more big breath in here, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Flow through, step or float. Lifting in a big inhale and up dog, right? Piking up in a big exhale and downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of your feet. Knees bend, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat. Awesome. From this chair pose, lower hands down to heart center. Elbows out wide. We'll take our first prayer twist towards the right. Left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. Sink the hips lower than the heart, and then push the heart into the thumbs. Looking over your right shoulder, rotating as you twist. And it's almost like you're trying to find your right ear with your gaze. Looking over that right shoulder, breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold, right? Hinge and release. Very nice. And then from there, fingertips scrape the earth back to Utkatasana from that forward fold. Hands lower down to heart center. Let's take that twist now towards the left. Breathing deep, hips lower than the heart. Knees stay in line with one another. Looking over that left shoulder as we breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Very nice. Feel that relief. Awesome. And then from there, lift up all 10 toes. Re-stretch those toes onto the earth. And with that rooted connection in the feet, slowly rise up away from those roots like a zombie. Arms heavy. And then shoulder blades draw back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Press the palms together overhead. And then relax the ear or the shoulders from the ears. Pelvis neutral, core engaged. Little back bend as you inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back into a long runner's lunge. All right, so inner thighs in, making sure that left ankle's under the knee. You're light in the hands, the belly's pulling off the thigh. And then that right thigh is engaged, right? If I came back from behind you and pressed down on that right knee, right, you would resist me up, right? Really engaged through that extended leg. From there, take a big breath in, and then exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, roll yourself into a high plank pose, and then lower knees, chest, and chin. On your inhale, find cobra. Awesome, and then on your exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, and then step into a long runner's lunge. Beautiful. Hug the inner thighs in. Raise up through the back of that left knee. Very nice. Big inhale, and then step up, top of the mat. Big toe meets big toe. Arms reach out in front of you, rise up in a back bend, and then lower hands down to heart center. Very nice. Inhale, reach up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg steps back right to where you were, runner's lunge. Inhale, step back, downward facing dog. Roll yourself into a high plank pose, lower knees, chest and chin. On your inhale, find cobra. Awesome, and on your exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Step into a long runner's lunge. Awesome, big breath in, and then step up, big toe meets big toe. Arms reach out in front of you, rise up, big back bend. Hands lower down to heart center, elbows out wide. Bend the knees, and let's take that second prayer twist now towards the right. Maybe coming into it a little bit deeper, second opportunity here, right? But make sure that that right hip, right, is moving more towards the center line of your mat, right, than the outside edge of your mat. Twisting from that deep integrative center line, right? Twisting your spine. 3, 2, 1. Back to Utkatasana. Keep that bend in the knees. And then lower hands down to heart center. Second prayer twist now towards that left side. Right now with that left hip, right, moving it under you. Not letting it jut too far out. Keeping the knees in line. The hips are going to stay in line. Looking over the left shoulder for 3, 2, forward fold. Very nice. From your forward fold, toe heel your feet hips width distance apart. Or as always, 2 fists width is a good measurement, right? So 2 fists in between the inner arches of your feet. From there, with your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Awesome. With that strong connection, bend your knees, look forward, strong flat back. And then exhale, pull the crown of the head down, the elbows towards the front edge. Awesome. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, flat back. Exhale, pull the crown of the head down. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, flat back. Now on the exhale, fold and hold. Right, so folding and holding the pose, but not holding the breath. Right, letting go, kind of creating space with every exhale. Right, and then building a little bit more intention, right, with every inhale, filling up with that specific quality. Right, that quality that you needed, taking responsibility for that in this practice. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the big toes. Very nice. From here, hands press into the earth. We'll take a moment for crow pose. So fan the fingers out. All 10 fingers grip the earth, high onto the balls of the feet. Right, knees come to the backs of the arms, shifting weight into the fingertips and the hands. Right, and then maybe bringing the heels towards the glutes. Right, hugging the inner thighs in like you had a yoga block or a beach ball between your inner thighs. Hug in towards center line for stability. Right, in most poses, that's what we're going for. Right, in your Bakasana, holding it here for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So meeting in down dog, right? If you want to hop back through your chaturanga into an upward facing dog, into a downward facing dog, that's an option, right? But we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Very nice. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees out wide, right? Listen carefully. We're going to hop into a malasana or a yogic squat. So hop forward. Very nice. Awesome. Right? So toes are out at 10 and 2. And then we're going to allow the elbows to press into the inner thighs back into the elbows, right? And then really move the thumbs right towards your sternum or right under your sternum, that solar plexus area. And then close the eyes. Notice if the chin kind of wants to jut forward, right? That closes off the airway. Right? Can you move that chin under the crown of the head? Right, feeling how that opens up the throat for really strong river, right, of prana, of breath, to move in and out of the lungs, pulled up and down by the diaphragm. Breathing here in this yogic squat for just another 5 rounds of breath. All right, and give yourself that moment to really close your eyes. Turn off any sort of opportunity for distraction by looking around the room. And just check in here. All right, from this malasana, take one more big breath in. And then slowly begin to blink the eyes back open. Hands press into the mat. Slowly extend those hips up towards the sky. And then move your toes right behind your wrists. Right, so feet are hips width distance or 2 fists. And then from that yogic squat, extending into a forward fold. And moving into a Padahastasana or gorilla pose. So standing onto your hands, or toes are towards your wrists, or toes are on your wrists, not towards them really. And then bend your knees, look forward, create that strong flat back. And then exhale, pull the crown of the head down, breathe into this deeper forward fold. Once more, holding the pose, not holding the breath. Every inhale, pushing the belly against the thigh. Every exhale, pulling yourself into that space that was created, right, with that big belly breath. Release or relax any tension in the neck, right? Set your gaze in between your shins or looking up towards your pelvic floor, right? Not even looking towards the mat here. We want to lengthen the back of the neck, right? You can shake and nod it around. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Release your Padahastasana, hands into the mat. Gently toe heel the feet back together. And then slowly, like a zombie, begin to roll yourself up. And let's spin a solid 3 to 5 rounds of breath in true north. So draw the shoulder blades back, open up the palms towards the front of the mat. Lift up all 10 toes, re-stretch them onto the earth. And then just bring some awareness to the soles of your feet, some attention. Just observing any sensations in the soles of your feet or lack of sensation. Right, and then slowly working your way up the body. Right, allowing this scan or this spotlight of attention to travel up the ankles, the shins, the calves. Deeply breathing with your belly as you allow that attention to travel up the knees, quads, hamstrings, thighs. Breathing fully and completely as you allow yourself to observe any sensations in the hip, pelvis, groin. All right, working that attention up the low back, mid back, upper back as it washes then back down the chest and belly. All right, allowing that attention to travel from the right shoulder to the right fingertips, left shoulder to the left fingertip. All right, allowing that awareness to travel up the 4 sides of the neck to wrap around the crown of the head. All right, and then just to observe any sensations in the face. All right, from this body scan, drawing the shoulder blades back once more, opening up the heart towards the front of the mat, taking a big breath in. And then let something go. Awesome. Slowly blinking the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up into Tadasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Very nice. From that forward fold, halfway lift. And then hands lower down into the mat. Step or float through a vinyasa. As always, it's an optional vinyasa. We are meeting in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then stay here, or use this opportunity to flip your dog up and over. Maybe take full wheel, reaching up and then expanding the chest towards the ceiling as you reach that right arm towards the mat. Keep that left shoulder head rooted into the earth. Right. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right arm back to the sky. Unflip the dog if you flipped it. Very nice, and step that right leg forward, long runner's lunge. From that runner's lunge, left hand down like you're pulling on a lawnmower. Take a twist, reaching up as you look up towards that lifted right thumb. Breathe. All right, notice if you're rolling to the pinky edge of that left foot, hug the inner thighs in. All right, try not to lock out that left elbow. And then come into water wheel from here. So legs stay right where they are, stack the shoulders over the hips, look back towards that lifted thumb. All right, very nice. Hug the inner thighs in here like you're breaking a yardstick. And then let's open into warrior 2 from that water wheel pose. Spending a moment here in warrior 2, opening up the groin, and then reaching forward, finding your side angle. Either pushing that right forearm on the right thigh, right? Or right hand can go down to the inside or outside of that right foot, or it can come to a block, right? But look up towards that lifted thumb and breathe. Noticing if the right ear wants to collapse towards the right shoulder. Keep looking up like you're trying to point your chin towards that thumb. Breathe. Few more breaths here in your side angle pose. If you have binds, right, birds, go for it. Don't need my permission. All right, but side angle is definitely enough of a pose. Breathe. Awesome. From your side angle, lizard lunge. Both hands spin down into the earth. Spin that left heel off the mat. Push both palms under the shoulders. And then modify or intensify how you see fit. Right, and paying attention to the breath. Maybe you dropped right down into the more intense forearm expression, right? But then the breath started to, right? That means you maybe intensified too much. Right, so come back onto the palms, maybe lower a knee down. Right, or if your breath is like super easy and you find that your mind has all this energy, right, to wander and plan and judge, intensify the pose, right? Consume that monkey mind with some of the difficulty of the asana of the pose. All right, but whichever pose or expression you've chosen, All right, stay rooted in the sensations of the breath. Not here for too much longer. Breathing here just for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back onto your hands, right? If you've come down onto your forearms. And then we'll take Skandasana, or surfer squat from here. So we're going to keep that right knee bent. We're going to walk the hands towards the left. Spin onto that left heel. Move that right toe to a right pointing towards the left edge of your mat. Right? And then take that surfer squat or that Skandasana. Right? So hands can press under the shoulders. Right? You can open up the arms. You can take binds if you'd like. Right? You can keep the hands at your heart. A lot of different options here. Right? But still really think about flexing the left toes towards the shins, softening the face, and just observing the sensations in the body here. Not evaluating them, not even really trying to change them. Right? Just kind of being with them through breath. Awesome. From that Skandasana into a runner's lunge, right? So hands, frame that right foot, right? Orient that right big toe into a 12 o'clock point, right? So straight forward. And then from there, step up. Big toe meets big toe. Awesome. From there, you might want to bend the knees side to side, right? Kind of stir around some of that energy in the hips. Right? And then from here, I'm going to lay my yoke toes down. We'll move into the opposite side. Awesome. Right? So from here, big toes touch. And then from here, like a zombie, roll yourself up. Inhale, reach up, find Tadasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Meet you in downward facing dog. Right? You know the options. Awesome. So from downward facing dog here, inhale left leg to the sky, knee bends, hip opens. Right? Staying here in this twisted dog, or using this opportunity, this foundation of your twisted dog, to flip your dog, to find full wheel. Whatever your practice needs today. Breathe. Right, mindful that that right elbow wants to lock out here. Soft micro bend, extend, push, reach for 3, 2, 1. Slowly unflip that dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Very nice. And then from there, step it into your warrior 2. Or no, actually, sorry, we're going to take a twist. I knew it. Stay with me, I'm here. Right hand down, left arm reaches. Right, twisted runner's lunge. Beautiful. Almost lost us. All right, looking up towards that lifted thumb, breathe. Try not to collapse weight into the right wrist too, right? Push energy down, lift energy up. Awesome, and then from here, we'll take that strong water wheel, right? Difficult pose to hold. We're gonna look back towards that thumb, opening up through the chest, right? Staying engaged through that right quadricep. Now opening into a warrior 2. Keep that right pinky toe gripping into the earth. All 10 toes lift off, right? So really it's the outside edge that grips the earth, not so much the pinky toe. Reach forward and then find your side angle pose. Forearm, hand, block, thigh. Stacking that right shoulder on top of the left. Right, and really being honest with your practice, right? If your right shoulder, right, is sort of more towards the right side of your mat than it is stacked on top of your left, maybe you come up onto your forearm, right, to increase that mobility. Right, be patient with your practice, right? It is very much so not about how the pose looks. It is very much so about how it feels in your body. Breathing for 3, 2. Now we'll find that lizard lunge. Both hands spin down onto the earth. Hands drive under the shoulders. Breathe. All right, noticing your neck, right? We want to keep that neck neutral. All right, so chin under the crown of the head. 4 sides of the neck long, like you're trying to pull the wrinkles out of any side of your neck. Like somebody gently grabbed under your chin and pulled your skull away from your shoulders. As always, listening to your breath here, right? It's gonna guide your practice, right? It's the true teacher on the mat right now. Right? If you can modify that strong, deep breath that we discovered in our first Sukhasana, right? Chances are you're in a good expression of a pose. If that's too easy to maintain, intensify. If it's too difficult to maintain, modify. Right? From that lizard lunge, slowly beginning to press yourself back onto your hands if you've moved onto your forearms, taking Skandasana or that ninja surfer squat as you move that left toe towards that right edge of your mat. Right? That right corner, flexing your right toes towards the shins, right? And then really kind of like sitting into the hip, right? Allowing that right inner thigh to expand. Hands can come to heart, hands can come under the shoulders, right? You can take those binds if you'd like. Right? Your expression that keeps you in your practice and creating more of that intention with every inhale, welcoming in and creating that quality here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Slowly into your runner's lunge. Both hands frame the left foot. Awesome. And then from there, big toe meets big toe, top of the mat. Awesome. All right. So from here, arms reach out in front of you. Rise up into a back bend. And then lower hands down to heart center. Very nice. Awesome. From here, reverse swan dive up the arms. And then a big, strong forward fold. Awesome. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, hands lower down. All right, reach you in downward facing dog. Hopping or floating through or skipping all together is your choice. No right or wrong choice there. All right, from here, inhale, right leg high to the sky. Step into warrior 1. And then open into warrior 2. Straighten out your right leg. You might want to walk that back heel in a little bit. I like a heel to heel connection here as we set up for Trikonasana, right? And then from here, trying to lock out that right knee. Soft bend to that right knee as you reach forward, and then eventually tip and look up as you find Trikonasana. Very little weight in that right hand. Right hand kind of wants to press and kind of rest into the right shin. See if you can't resist that temptation, right? Or eliminate that possibility maybe by floating that right hand to your heart, feeling that left oblique lengthen and strengthen at the same time. Right, really move that hip forward, right? Almost like you're finding a back bend here in your Trikonasana. Very nice. From there, slowly stack shoulders back over hips, right leg still extended, and then both toes point towards the left side of your mat. Heels move towards the back edge. Angle your big toes in together. Inhale, reach the arms up, and then interlace the hands behind your low back. Open up the heart as you inhale once more, and then exhale, bound armed, wide-legged forward fold. Right, first sort of intentional opening in the shoulders here today. Right, so yeah, focusing on the back of the body, right, the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back. Right, but also really allowing those pinky fingers with every exhale to get a little closer to that left edge of your mat. Right, if you're looking for more of a challenge with the arms, right, you're super open in the shoulders, you can take a reverse namaste, right, you can take a bind if you're liking. And if you're a bit more broad in the shoulders, grabbing a towel or a strap here, right, is really nice, right? Breathe. One more big breath in, and then release the bind of your arms, hands into your mat, right? Halfway lifted in that wide-legged forward fold. Very nice. And then from here, angle your toes out to 10 and 2. And then bring your hands onto your thighs, right? So kind of like a modified, kind of like resting goddess pose or horse stance, right? And then from here, move your palm right to the inside of those quadriceps. and then drop your right shoulder, push your right leg away, and look over your left shoulder. Very nice, right? So opening up that hip adductor, pushing, twisting. Very nice. And then switch sides. Drop the left shoulder, look over the right. Breathe. Right? And really using that extension of the left arm to open up that right groin. And then from here, finding some flow, right? So kind of twisting, moving, right? Maybe shifting side to side, just allowing that intuition to guide how you need to move. Very nice. Slowly allow yourself to extend through the legs once more, pointing the big toes together. Very nice. Right? From there, hands come back to your hips, shoulders rise over the hips. Point your right big toe towards the front of the mat, and then we'll take pyramid pose. Right? So here, we're on a train track. We're not on a balance beam, right? So right foot, left foot, right? Each have their own train track. Square off the hips with the top of the mat, hands onto your hips, and then lead with the heart. Feel the heart lead the movement as you slowly come into pyramid pose. Right, the closer the forehead gets to the right shin, the deeper that stretch we're asking of that whole posterior chain, allowing some of that fascia to release, right? So intense pose for sure, right? But you're in control of the intensity. Right, breathing into it. Right, and not letting that right hip sneak too far forward, right? Really dial that right hip back in space. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. All right, so from here, hands under the shoulders. Very nice. And then from there, stack shoulders back over hips. And then just step up. Big toe meets big toe. Right, maybe shaking out that right and left leg a little bit. Awesome. All right, so from here, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Option for the vinyasa, all right, or step back into downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, left leg high to the sky, and then step it in to a really strong warrior 1, all right, and then open into warrior 2. Straighten out that left leg as we set up for Trikonasana. Strong base, right? So the heels move in towards one another. Soft bend in the left knee, right? And then reach the arms out. Reach, 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 reach. And then tip, stack, and look up. Right, and again, maybe you float that left hand to your heart. Maybe you want to go Dui Hasta and reach both hands forward, right? But reach up, look up, and breathe. Again, very unique feeling in the right side body here, right? Because it's lifting and lengthening, strengthening and lengthening. All right, so really seize this opportunity to strengthen and lengthen simultaneously in the right hip. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Slowly stack the shoulders back over the hips. And now point both toes towards the left, towards the right, right? Heels towards the edge. And then from here, inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, forward fold. You can bind the arms if you'd like, right? But if you'd like to take a different inversion on this opposite side, right, by all means, you can walk your fingertips in between your legs, right? If you want to take a classic headstand, a tripod headstand, right, this would be an option for you, right? If you're taking a classic headstand, right, interlace the fingers behind your head, right, and then really allow the forearms to root down into the earth, and then allow the back of the head to rest into the palms, right? So very little pressure on the crown of the head as you slowly begin to stack the heels over the hips, coming into your classic Sirsasana, your headstand. Breathe, right? Maybe closing your eyes here. And then really visualizing that long line of energy, right? From the crown of your head through your heels, plugged into the mat and earth, shooting up through the heels. in your inversions or your headstands, right? Slowly begin to come, right, to that sort of half pike if you can hold it. And then slowly re-extend the legs out onto the mat, right? Just a brief little deeper inversion. Right, from your wide-legged forward fold, right? If you put any weight into the crown of your head, just allow it to naturally decompress. Very nice. Slowly begin to move hands under shoulders, right? And then coming into that goddess stance again, except this time hands aren't going to rest on thighs. We're going to take that full goddess stance, right? Finding those goalpost arms. Beautiful. Interlacing your hands behind your head, taking a big inhale. And then exhale, right elbow taps right thigh. Inhale, back towards center. Exhale, left elbow taps left thigh. Back towards center. And then keep ticking and tocking. Right, seeing if you can't maintain that strong neutral pelvis. Feeling that strong core slowly guide you back and forth. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back towards center, extend through both legs, release the bind of your hands, point those left toes forward, right, if they aren't already, and then step that back foot in, setting up for pyramid pose here with the left leg forward, squaring off the hips, and then from there, hinge from the hips, coming into your pyramid pose of choice. Breathe, right? Square the hips off. Really tuck that left hip back in space. All right, it might be helpful to take that left thumb, right, to push it into your hip crease, right, and feel that length, right, and square hip. Intensify the pose. Maintain that right heel, right, into the earth. Try not to roll weight forward, right? Whole, or both feet, 4-corner rooted. Breathing for 3, 2, 1. Very nice. From there, hands under the shoulders. Slowly stack shoulders back over hips. Step up, big toe meets big toe. Shake out the legs. Very nice. Awesome. All right, so standing sequence done. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, right? Told you it was going to be comprehensive. Halfway lift. Very nice. And then exhale, hands lower down. Full spectrum class here, right? Hands under the shoulders. Hold your high plank pose. Very nice. Awesome. From your high plank pose, bring your right knee to your right elbow. A re-extend, left knee, left elbow. Re-extend. And then come into these slow-moving, methodical mountain climbers here. Right? If you can't maintain the mountain climber right now, right, that's understandable. It's been a difficult practice so far. Right? Just hold your high plank. Right? Maybe modifying on your knees. Right? But keep the shoulders over the wrists. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower everything down. Once your belly hits the mat, thumbs graze the thighs. Look towards your left side. Right cheek on the earth, big toes touch, heels roll away from one another. Breathe. Really just feeling every exhale, surrender the body into the mat, to the earth. Switch cheeks, look the other way. Right, bringing your awareness to that heartbeat in your chest, feeling how that heartbeat is connected to your breath, how that breath is connected to your muscles, skin, bones, sweat. Right, really just resting in that awareness of your entire body, that expansive awareness here for another few rounds of breath and stillness. And one more big breath in, coming back to your specific intention. And then a big exhale out. Very nice.
Forehead rests into the earth, nose presses into the earth. Arms reach out towards the corners of your mat. Very nice. And then feet no more than hips width distance apart will they travel in width. From here, raise everything up, press the hips down, that extended Shalabhasana or locust, right? That sort of superhero pose, right? See if you can't go thumbs up. See if you can't wrap everything around the spine here. All right, very nice. On your inhale, even higher. And then on your exhale, slowly lower your forehead and everything down to tap. And then on your inhale, right back up. As your exhale, you lower down. As your inhale comes in, you rise up. All right, and then move on your breath. Lowering and lifting. All right, bringing that flexion to the low, or that flexing, all right, to those muscles in that posterior chain of the body, strengthening the low back and back body core. All right, next time you come up, hold it up here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Very nice. Little wiggle side to side. Try not to windshield wiper the knees though, right? Because we're now going to bend the knees, reach back, and take some belly bow action. Right, so reaching back, grabbing that lower portion of shin or upper ankle, bringing the big toes to touch, flexing the toes towards the shins, and then kick back and come up. Right, so feeling the biceps lengthens here, feeling the chest open up as the legs kick back, but still pulling forward with the arms. Right, we don't want to lose that engagement of the upper arms just to kick back deeper. Right, find that balance of opposites. Looking up here in your belly bow for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Very nice. Awesome. Now windshield wiper the legs side to side if you'd like. Lowering the tops of the feet down into the earth. We'll set up for camel pose. All right, so sitting back onto the heels, all right, finding hero pose just for a moment. Right, even lengthening the quads there, right? And then sit up onto the knees. Knees come hips width distance apart. Awesome. And then from here, camel pose, right? So hands come to your low back, right? As always, right? Kind of demonstrating it. Elbows point back, right? Don't let the elbows flare out. And then hands, right? Heels of the palm above the belt line. Hands aren't on glutes. They're right up, sort of a little bit higher than them. Awesome, and then from here, Ustrasana or camel as you push the heart forward, using your palms to bring support to your low back, right? Pushing your heart up higher from your palms, right? And if that's got a little bit more mobility in your back, you can reach back and grab your heels, fine, right? But still bring that levity to your chest, right? That open feeling. It's just like the belly bow you were just in, except the foundation is your shins. Right, breathing here. Here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Very nice. Awesome. Hands into the earth. Let's take some cats and cows, right? Second opportunity to alternate between cats and cows. Inhaling into cow as you drop the belly and look up. Exhaling into cat as you press, arch and round from there. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, press, arch and round. Back to tabletop pose, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Very nice. And then from there, re-extend through that right leg. And then move that right knee to the right wrist, finding half pigeon pose. Right, so hands under the shoulders, point the left toe straight back, right? Look back, make sure it's pointing straight back, right? Not like a banana, like kind of angling in, right? And then press that right shin down into the earth, right? So there's like a bounce to the hips, right? The hands, we don't need to collapse weight into them because that right glute is so engaged, right? And then from there, right, you can reach the arms up and slowly hinge forward, right, to strengthen more of the core. You can open up the chest with bound arms, or you can spider crawl your fingers forward, right? But just walk yourself into a half pigeon, maybe stack the shins for a double pigeon opportunity, or lie on your back and take that figure 4 option. adjusting how you need to. Very nice. Awesome, right? And then send that awareness into your right hip. Right? Allowing yourself to observe any sort of tightness or discomfort or holding that you can identify in the body. Right? And then allowing yourself to remain focused on that sensation of holding. And with every exhale, right, can you breathe into those specific places and allow your body to soften with every round of breath. Right? Sort of coming home to that comfort of respiration, letting go of all those places of tension in the body. Breathe. Few more breaths here in this half pigeon pose. Slowly begin to walk the hands back up towards the shoulders, right under the shoulders, right? And then from here, we're gonna press weight into the outside of that right pinky toe. We're gonna tuck the left toes under, raise that left leg off the mat. Very nice, right? So really engage that quadricep. And then move that right knee up to the right armpit or chest, and then lower that right knee down to the wrist to tap, and then lift it right back up. Very nice. All right, so strengthening the core here. All right, really using that Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, right? Strengthening those Bandha locks. All right, here just for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Back to that half pigeon prep, right? And then slowly begin to toe that left knee behind the right calf. And then sit onto your bum, sitting up for a seated twist. All right? So with your seated twist, right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Left knee is bent. Left heel is to the outside of the hip. Very nice. Left elbow crease in front of the right shin. Interlace the fingers. Push the heart into the palms. All right, push or pull the heart back into the thumb. Push the heart into the palms. Pull the palms into the heart. All right, if you want a deeper twist, left elbow to the outside of the thigh. Looking over that right shoulder. Right, keep the spine long here though, right? Find that up dog, find the back bend as you rotate. Slowly undo the twist, little counter twist, right elbow to the inside of the right knee, right? And kind of push the heart towards the left. Very nice. From there, right, you can extend the legs, cross the ankles under you, and take a vinyasa into your downward facing dog. Or step back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale left leg to the sky, bend knee, open hip. Very nice. And then bring left knee to left wrist. Setting up for half pigeon here on the opposite side, pointing the right toe straight back. All right, and breathing deep. Setting up, right, making sure alignment is maintained, hips are square, right, engaged in the glute. And then slowly spider crawling yourself forward, or big sort of expressive arm bound, lowering into it, whatever you need. All right, but again, can you try not to change any sort of sensation in the body? Can you just allow yourself to observe it, right? To breathe with it. Right? And in doing so, notice how that might change your perspective on the sensation. Even though the sensation is the same. The pose is the same. Your perspective can change. Right? And if your brain is wandering around, right? Like, when is this going to end? Right? We've already been doing so much. I got this planned after practice. Right? Honor the fact where your mind has gone and bring it back to your breath and intention. Breathe. right? Tuning out any sort of the surrounding noise, right, that might be around you right now, right, with that strong, rhythmic, ocean-like exhale. Couple more breaths here. Slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the hips. Very nice. And then hands under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes under. Raise that right leg off the mat. Right? Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, bring that left knee up towards the chest. Lower down to tap. Press right back up. Awesome, right? Really feeling how that oblique, that transverse abdominal can lift the leg as your palms push into the earth like cat pose. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Back into that half pigeon prep, right? Allow that right knee to travel behind the left calf, sitting onto your bum, and setting up for a seated twist. Bending that right knee, hips square, right? Whole entire left foot pressed into the earth, not just the outside edge of it. Wrap that right elbow in front of the left shin, right? And even come into a twist before you interlace the hands, right? So really kind of use some of that pull of the right elbow forward to send you into a twist. Then interlace the fingers, palm into heart, heart into palm. All right, looking over the left shoulder. And then if you'd like and can maintain a strong, extended spine, right? You can come into that deeper twist with the elbow to the outside of the thigh, looking over that left shoulder. Breathing deep with your belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice, right? Gentle counter twist, push forward, right? Or push to the right. And then from here, just extend both legs, right? Give them a little bit of a flutter. Awesome. I recommend taking your hands, right? Pulling your glutes apart from one another, right? Really feeling rooted into those hip bones, right? Internally rotating the thighs with your hands as well, right? Manual internal rotation. And then flex the quadriceps, lift the heels off the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, reaching forward. If you can grab your feet, fine, right? If your hands are on your shins, fine. Quads, fine. Keep the spine long, the pelvis neutral. The heart leads the hinge towards the toes. If you can grab your feet, point the elbows down. All right, very nice. If you got a block, right, and you want to extend it, whatever Paschimottanasana you need. But keep the toes flexed towards the shin, right? Deep seated stretch for that posterior chain of the body. Not here for long, just another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Gently release hands, walk up the shins, right? Scoot your hips towards your heels, grab the front of your shins, and just cannonball on back. All right, taking a few rocks and rolls. All right, and then if it naturally rocks you back into plow, right, that's a good place to be because that's where we'll go. All right, so if it rocks back into plow, hold plow, extending through your legs, allowing yourself to shimmy up higher onto your shoulders, right? And if plow isn't in the cards for you, right, do what I'm doing. Waterfall, right? Flexing the toes towards the shins, hips, right under the heels, right? If not, bring that same extension through the legs into plow pose. Right, if you want to create a little trailer hitch with your arms in plow, right, allowing the triceps to root into the earth, decompressing the spine here. If from your plow pose, you'd like to take shoulder stand, hands come to your low back, right? And then really use your glutes to press your heels towards the front of your mat and your hips towards the back of your mat. Unclenching your glutes, right? And allowing for the heels to stack over the hips, to stack over the shoulders. Right, if you'd like to take Baddha Konasana, or you'd like to bind your legs, right, in different ways in your shoulder stand. Be creative, have some fun with it. A few more breaths in shoulder stand. All right, I'm gonna drop back into plow because I really like plow, but if you wanna stay in shoulder stand, stay there. I'll tell you when to meet us back in plow. If you're in waterfall, stay right there in waterfall. Great choice. Slowly begin to meet us back in plow. If you've stayed in shoulder stand, from plow, bending the knees, finding Karna Padasana. In Karna Padasana, or deaf man's pose, I like to wrap my forearms behind the knees to grab either side of my head, right? And then to use my forearms to press my knees further down towards the mat. Right? But whichever expression of your Karna Padasana you've chosen, really just allow for that natural decompression of the spine. Re-extending back into your plow pose, and then keep your thighs as close as you can towards your belly as you slowly, we all meet in waterfall pose. Very nice. From your waterfall pose, slowly lower your heels down towards the earth. All right, quick fish pose. All right, so big toes touch, point your toes forward. Right, allow that diamond shape to be created with your thumb and your pointer finger. Right, and allow that diamond to travel under your sacrum or tailbone. Right, and then take, oh, I'm a little too far forward. And then we'll take Matsyendrasana, or fish pose, right? So draw that heart high towards the ceiling. Right, strong counter pose to that deep plow for 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Release the pose. Hug your knees into your chest. Slowly butterfly your knees in and out from one another as we find happy baby pose. Bending the knees, reaching up, grabbing the outsides of the feet, drawing the knees down. Breathe. All right, if you want to rock side to side in your child's pose, go for it. All right, open up the heart though, not just pulling side to side in the knees. Keep pulling that heart up in between the shoulders, like you had a rope attached to it. It's being pulled towards the sky. Right, in your child's pose, take one more big breath in. Very nice. And then release into your Shavasana or your Supta Baddha Konasana. All right, I'll release into Shavasana today, that classic corpse pose. Allowing the arms and legs to fall out wide. All right, allowing any sort of those micro adjustments, those fixes and fidgets to get out of the way. All right, and then allowing yourself to commit to stillness. Right, to drop into that place of observation where you're not attempting to change, to judge, to evaluate anything that shows up. Breath returns to its natural, normal cadence. Right, allowing yourself just to be that vessel, that conduit for breath. Letting the body breathe itself. Right, allowing yourself to commit to stillness no matter what noise is surrounding you, whether it's people in your house or even some of the noise through the audio of this recording. Right, not reaching out towards anything, just dropping back and observing. Just a gentle, quick Shavasana here today.
If you'd like to extend the Shavasana, right, give yourself a solid another 10, 15 minutes if you can. All right, slowly starting to deepen the breath from that brief observation and stillness. Wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rocking the head side to side. All right, slowly allowing your knees to bend. And then from there, drawing your knees into your chest. And then rocking to your right or left side as you find your fetal pose. Allowing whichever arm is under you to extend as a pillow for that side of your face. Right, and then in this fetal pose, just bringing that awareness back to those points of contact between you and the earth. Right, allowing yourself to feel that support from the mat. Right, to bring some of that awareness to like the boundaries of where you end and the outside or the room you're practicing in begins. Right, from there, shifting your attention back to your intention and allowing for that quality of your intention, right, to slowly press yourself up into a cross-legged seated position towards the top of your mat. Right, kind of bringing the practice full circle, right, allowing yourself to get settled, moving in whichever way you need to. All right, I recommend placing one hand on your heart, placing another hand on top of that hand, allowing the elbows just to fall to your side. Bringing that smile to the face, whether it's like a soft, almost imperceptible smile or like the biggest, goofiest smile you got. Honoring the fact that you've done what you've just done. You've showed up, you've paid attention to your body and your breath. All right, no matter how the practice went, you showed up. That's what matters. All right, and from that place of showing up to yourself and your specific intention, thumbs can rise to forehead center. Always forever grateful for the practice, the community, right? And for that fact that you showed up. From that place, we all have the opportunity to say, Namaste. Awesome. Well, congratulations, right? Way to show up for yourself in practice. Let me know what you thought of the practice, right? You can comment and look forward to doing another one for you guys. Take it easy. Namaste.